Good afternoon, everyone. This afternoon we'll talk about solid waste. This time we have the presence of Dr. Rolando Trejos, and with which they discuss the issue. Tell us, Doctor, what is solid waste and who produces them?
Okay, so we have three main types of matter in the world: liquid, solid, and gas. Okay, so when we have solid waste, it means things that humans are not using anymore, which are in solid form. Okay, who produces them? Humans. Okay,
Okay.
so animals and plants, it all becomes a part of a big ecological cycle. So there's no waste there. It has to come from humans.
Okay. Doctor, you know the waste can generate by a person per day or per week or month?
Okay, so how much is produced by humans? It's about 1.5 kilos per person per day. Now that varies a lot because in developed countries it's very high, more than 2 kilos per person per day. But in other parts of the world, it's considerably lower, really low.
Okay. The doctor, solid waste is a global problem. Why?
Yes, because it contaminates the land, it contaminates the water, the oceans, and it also produces gases which are dangerous. So it affects the health of the planet, the health of the people, a lot of problems.
Okay. Uno.
Hi doctor, I want have three questions.
Okay.
This is focused in the environment quality.
Okay.
Okay. The question number one is how countries can better manage solid waste?
Okay, many ways. First one, reducing, producing less waste. When we have a lot of packaging, we can use less packaging. Recycling, which means the waste that we have, try to use it in a new way. And then reusing things. Instead of using a new plastic bag, we can use an old plastic bag again. So we have many ways to do it.
Okay. The other question is what is the recycling and what are the advantages?
Okay, so recycling is using waste, okay, in a new way. Try to find a new way to use what we are not using, what we're sending into the garbage, okay? The advantages are many. We have less waste, we have less resources used, but we also have, and it's very important that we use less energy.
Okay. The next question is what types of solid waste is recycled?
Okay. Here in Zamorano we have different types of solid waste that is recycled. For example, some types of metal, some types of paper, some plastic, and every year we try to find new types of solid waste to use. Again, for example, this year, pizza boxes. Last year we still just threw it into the landfill, but this year we can now recycle pizza boxes.
Okay. Okay, doctor. Continue the question.
Okay.
The question is what can be done with solid waste that cannot the recycling?
Okay. So there are some waste that cannot be recycled, and it has to be sent into a landfill, which means there is some kind of land, and we have to put the waste there. Okay. And the idea, if we have a landfill, is that we try to reduce it as much as possible, reduce the amount of trash, so that it doesn't become too big or it doesn't become full too early. So we try to use the landfill as much as possible before we have to close it.
Okay. The next question is what can you the make recycling become a custom in our countries?
Okay, so there are many things that we can do. For example, education, telling people how important it is to deal with solid waste and to recycle. But also, it's very important to have policies in which the government, for example, puts a tax on the amount of trash. So if you have a tax, then people will want to send less trash into the landfill and recycle more, for example. So education is part of it, but policy on behalf of the government is very important.
Okay, doctor. Does the good management of solid waste depend of the degrees of education of the person?
Yes, the degree of education is very, very important, but it's not everything. We also have to have good policy, which means what the government does is very important. And we also have to have good science, which means the work that we do here at the Department of Environment and Development, finding new ways to use solid waste is very important too.
Okay, doctor. Thank you, doctor.
We're